Good morning, guys. This is Paula, and I just wanted to come this morning and give you guys a look at my very old cover on this junk journal. Um, it is got vintage lace and sorry silk that is its closure. It's very long, so you can see here the creamy white color. I'm going to pull that out of the way and let you see here. It is, I left all the strings on it when I did stitching, but it is made 100% out of an old antique doily, I guess is what they called them, because this one has had hand stitching on it. It's not embroidery, it's more like a cross stitch, I think, but it's old. It's got to easily be 40s, 50 maybe, might even be older than that. And I filled it up and I put batting in it, and also it has lace that came all the way around, so, and it was in perfect condition. So I just left it and stitched it. It has 2 signatures. I haven't measured this or anything. I'm sorry. I should have had that done. It is 7.5 in height and approximately 5 1/4 to 5.5 wide. And as far as deep, well, that would depend. She's a chunky monkey. You can see here, I've got her. She's pretty open up here, but the binding portion of it is small because it really, I'll try to measure it, but I don't think it really, let's see, maybe an inch and a quarter. Inch and a quarter. Okay, let's get started looking inside. I hope you can see okay. But I did, on all my sewing, I left the strings. If you want to cut those, you're more than welcome to do that. I just like the look of that on some books, and I just think it looks old. Now, this paper right here is a scrapbook sheet that I cross-stitched for this book. Now, because it was ugly on one side, of course, I had to end up making a pocket out of this one, and I just used a pink. And, you know, just when you cross-stitch on paper, it will give you a little bit of a, you know, a little bit of a wave, but it's not bad, and it just looks so stunning when you open the book and see this. There's 2 of these sheets in the book for each signature. Now, when you pull out the side, here is some different ephemera, an old vintage tea-stained flower, and kind of, I don't even know how to describe it. It's a little bit botanical, I guess. Has some old rosettes on it there. I'll put those back inside this pocket. Move on. I put some really pretty vellum. I always like to put a sheet of vellum in each signature. I just love it. Has a little bit of a glisten. And the color scheme is, of course, this kind of fuchsia, lavender, blue, and pink, and mint green. So that's what I tried to stick with. This is the fuchsia and the lavender and the mint green here. It's a pocket right here. Beautiful flowers. I don't know my flowers like Wendy. She knows them. So I can tell you right now I don't. But I know that the ones in this book are really pretty. And I put really pretty fabric tabs on some of the pages. And this is the tea stain, little doily. And this is an Edith Holden. It's just some beautiful, beautiful flowers that match the front cover really pretty well. And I had some left over on my scrapbook page that I stitched. And so you can see here how the back would have looked had I not made that into a pocket. I just decided to leave that open so it looked a little bit more homemade. And I just filled this with different scraps. I think it even has a little fold out. Yeah, it does. And this pocket right here. This right here is just some beautiful flowers out of a gardening book. And then we've got the story about wild roses. I think I did put a lot of roses in this book. It's really, really some beautiful ones. It says wild roses on long, serene midsummer days of ripening fruit in yellow green. How sweetly by dim woodland ways, entangled hedge or leafy lane, fair wild rose thickets you unfold, those pale pink stars with hearts of gold. I just thought that was pretty, and so I just threw that in there. Let's see. And have one of my little envelopes that I always like to do a collage envelope. Here's how it looks on the front. It's got a vintage stamp right here. And just a variety. Music sheet, tea stained, and vintage lace. And let's see what I put inside. I usually put something in all of them. Oh, this is a card, playing card, that has all of the floral that is in Alaska. You can see right here it says Alaska. And I just happened to have gotten back from Alaska. So these are not vintage, but I thought, how cool are these cards? So I'm sharing one with you. If I can get it back in here. It was a tight fit because it was just the size. Okay. Get my thumbling fingers to work. Okay. And this is a flip out of the rose book, and you can see here, I'm going to pick it up and kind of turn it over where you can see some beautiful floral pictures in this book, and some different poetry. I'm not going to read them all. I'll give you something to look forward to. Here's an old quilt. You can tell that it's been washed a lot, and just cut it into a heart shape and put it in here. Another fabric tab. Here's a tuck right here. Another book out of that sheet. Just some more extra papers for you to journal on and tuck away. Here's a glassine bag full of just little goodies. Here's some more of those roses. Both sides. just different pictures. This book had all different colors. There's a place that says journal and notes. And I like little things you can tuck away in a journal and put your hidden thoughts. Here's a charm on this part of the lace that is just a little butterfly. I don't know if you can see it there or not. It's kind of dark right there. And music, vintage music sheets. Here's the center, which I loved because it has plenty of journaling. And it has just a hint of gold on the lines. And I covered each of these rather than with a charm because the book was already a little chunky thing. I didn't want charms to make it more chunky or beads. I just covered it with these little vintage like flowers. And I did that to all the signatures, or both signatures. Here is a tag I made by decoupaging some beautiful florals. Covered it in tea stain paper. And a pocket here. Another fabric tab. Here's the rest of the sack. Let me flip that out for you. Fly Away With Me, little firefly. I just put some little embellishments there. Now this was not a rose. Now this is not 100% a book of roses, but I did put a lot of them in here. I enjoy roses. My mother had every rose you can imagine in her garden, and anytime I see roses, I think of her. Another sheet of paper. Another pocket right here that says Find the Beauty in Every Day. I'll just embellish the card. So many pretty cards in this. Okay, and then here is some paper that comes out quite a ways. There we go. It's got 3 folds in it. Okay, let me get my book back in place here. I think there's 2 of those in this book. And then here's just a decorative flap here that has floor on it and some lavender flowers. Another pocket has little wreaths of flowers on the front. Some little rose, a little piece of the scrap of one of those rose pictures. Flip it over and it just has a floral picture in it. I tried to stick with a lot of florals, as you can see, since the book was covered in florals. And I know most women love them, so can't go wrong. Can't remember where I had this. I think I'll just put it right up here. Nope, we won't put it there. We'll put it over here. How's that? I think that might be why it was here to start with. There's a pocket on the other side. Okay. Okay, as I said, there's a pocket here. It's actually got the roses from the book, the magazine. And I found this in an old vintage cross-stitch book, which I thought was kind of nice. Look at this old lamp. But this is a cross-stitch sitting in this framed piece. And I thought, since the book has cross-stitch and it has floral, and it's got some vintage, that would be perfect. And I just covered it in the tea stain paper and put it in this little tuck here that's behind the big floral picture. Like I said, lots of journaling space. You can hide anything you want to hide. You can take out what you don't want. You know, as someone that makes them, you know, you don't always know what everyone wants. Edith Holden paper. Keep going here. There's some more. We're coming up on the back part of the signature. So you can see what the whole page would look like. Almost the whole page. This is the two signatures butted up against each other. When I cross-stitched, it was a 12 by 12. So it went from here and then down. The little books I made were from somewhere down here. And in this pocket, I made pockets out of both sides. It just has several vintage papers like, you know, Sears Roebuck catalog and just some old things there. I'm going to push them down in there so they don't get bent. Okay, on this side, this is the second signature. And again, this is a pocket. And this is a vintage card that I'm holding now. And it's a letter on the back, which is so interesting to read someone else's. I can't help it. We're nosy a little bit, aren't we? So just to think that we had to write letters and postcards back in the day. But I thought this matched really nicely, and it's all nice and yellow. And it's really a pretty card. It goes in that first signature. Again, we're going to have the vellum and some of the repeat of papers. Here is the firefly. This is a muslin envelope I made. Has a vintage stamp. And I'm not going to open it, but it has a little pin here. And there is something inside because I can feel that. There is. And I just slid it into this pocket. I'll let that be a surprise to whoever decides they want it. Here's another fabric tab. And I matted some of these beautiful roses. This is what is considered a wild rose, and it's in a pale pink. And if the Edith Holden on this side was just a bunch of writing, so I just put the picture on that side. And here is another flip picture from the garden place. As you can see, some more roses. Really pretty. I brought the fabric from the other side over, and here is a, this side has a charm on it, has a flower charm, and just a collage of things on it. I found this old quilted square in an antique shop, and so it's funny how the colors in the squares match the book. And we're going to move along here. Some more pockets and some more old papers. And this is a distressed ink tag that I made on a video. We were just having fun. So I included it. And here's one of the little mini ones that was part of that video. And again, some more rose bushes down here. Scoot this up just a little bit. And then we've got this little card. The letter B for botanical. And then it has just a little tab on the top and a Tim Holtz little clip. Just looks like a little playing card. And that was an extra card that I just slid in there. Okay, and we'll carry on here. Music sheets. There's another bag. And I just made a little tab for you to write on. And what's more fitting than the word bloom in your garden? Actually, that's my granddaughter's middle name, is Bloom, Lucy Bloom. And she's quite a bloom, that's for sure. Here's that same inside of the middle of the signature page. That's a nice journaling page with a hint of gold. And then it's the next pocket with another decoupaged floral. My favorite thing to do is decoupage. Okay, and in the glassine bag we have, oh, I threw in a bird because I thought he was so cute. And then an old playing card with, of course, roses. I think with so many playing cards out in the junk journal world, could have a card swap sometime. There's so many different ones, some neat ones. A lot of journaling space here. There's another tab. This tab is, again, one of the triple. So you're going to stay busy when you get to these parts of these pages of the journal. And here's another pocket with some journaling space. It says good times. And this is also another one of those little tags that I had from the video. And a little rose picture here at the bottom again. Fabric tab. Here's another one of these flaps. Firefly. Sorry silk. Edith Holden page. With, on the other side, I have actually put this beautiful picture of a floral. And if you want to know what kind of flowers, I'm sure Wendy can tell you, because Paula cannot. I love the way this tea stained. And now we're back to the last page of the journal where the pockets are, where we have the cross stitch going on here. And that's the back of the page. And this came out of the pocket. I used the bloom on this one to make a book of some of the scraps of paper. It has a lot of hidden areas for your most kept secrets. Let me get that back down in that pocket, and then I've not really given this book a name, but if I did, I don't really name them, but if I did, I'd probably call it Rose. Because it's, the majority of it is roses. And so, again, I'll come up close and let you see the old stitching. I mean, the stitches are, I mean, you can tell that they've been around for a while, but they're in good condition. The second I saw this, I thought, I'm going to stitch that on the inside and add some matching muslin type fabric and make a journal out of that. Now I'm going to get my ribbon back and see if I can show you how I had it tied. You can tie it any way you'd like. I just kind of even them up on both ends and pull it to one side a little bit more than the other side. And just pull it over. And I just tied it once, I believe. But again, you can tie it as many times as you want. keeps her from being so fat. I'm just going to tie this one in. Let's see, maybe like this. I kind of do them different all the time. I like them to look kind of fluffy. But again, if I gave it a name, it would be Rose. Thank you guys for watching the video today. I'll be listing this on my Etsy shop within the next 24 hours. Hopefully tonight. Thank you, ladies. I'll be back sometime this afternoon to do a special video on a really special book. Thank you.